Mr. Eggplant presents.
Hey guys, Tyler here.
Okay,
Thanks for
fine.
checking out
Ready
this
to start.
video.
Just make sure you
And
get
we
all
are
this
continuing on with our Mythic
Or
Plus series, and this time we are
Ranger,
doing a
whatever.
King's Rest 11, and I'm doing it with
Hit
my guild
bad.
Drexit
No,
of
hit
Zangarmarsh.
good.
So the group is a little bit different than normal. I've been pushing some keys with my guild recently, and we are running with Nerfo on his Havoc Demon Hunter, myself obviously on my Marksman Hunter. We have Necro, I believe he is Fury Warrior. I guess I really don't run with warriors enough to really know. He's Fury or Arms. He's not Prot, that's for sure. But we also have Glitch, who is on his Druid as the tank. Then, of course, we have Star as a Holy Priest. So this was a pretty good run, and this is a run that does take advantage of the additional 3 minutes that they added to the King's Rest timer from Season 2 to Season 3. So we do now have 42 minutes. I believe we come in with right around 40 minutes in total, so we have about 2 minutes left. But this was a great run overall. It was definitely a slow roll, as you guys will see. But we made sure we limited any iffy pulls, any deaths, and I think we only had a couple deaths, and it was overall a great run. And I get an upgrade at the end. I finally get some gloves, especially 430 gloves with a socket. And I was running with 450 gloves, but they were the complete wrong stats. And these are actually going to increase my damage by just the mastery alone increases my damage by several percent, which is pretty good. So we are just moving in here to this first boss room. And I forgot to mention, this is a King's Rest 11, and the affixes are, this is actually from this week too. So these affixes are Fortified, Skittish, Bolstering, and Beguiling. Because Beguiling is, of course, the Season 3 plus 10 and better affix. So we do kind of have a little bit of issues with Trash, just because we could have probably pulled them a little bit better, a little bit faster, but our whole point here was just to make sure and time them, and we did that. So you'll see here, I am running with, I believe my item level is 424 in this recording. And I'm running with a neck level of 62. I've got it to 63 now, but 62, getting very close to getting that next trait on my neck as it deflects. That's so stupid. But you see there, the essence I'm running is the focus beam, the focus iris. So normally on runs, especially with like pugs, you don't want to run that because it's going to bolster a lot of stuff. But we did a pretty good job of timing. All 3 DPS had their beams, so we could just go like beam crazy on some pulls, and then we didn't have to worry about any of the bolstering. So I probably wouldn't do that on a pug group, especially not on bolstering week in dungeons where they have a lot of the mobs have different healths. Things that come to mind are like Siege of Borealis, where a lot of the mobs have like 3 different health pool sizes, I should say. For example, the very first pull in Siege of Borealis with the Hallbergs there, like those have like double the health of all the other little guys. So of course, even if you're cleaving off of the big guy, you are going to bolster him, and then he's just going to do obscene amounts of damage and just be a boss in himself. So with bolstering, you definitely want to, if you're running with a guild group or a group that's in voice, it's not as bad. But I wouldn't probably run with this beam with just a random group that wasn't really paying attention to bolstering things. So we're just clearing out this first room here, and you don't hear me in the recording because I do mute my mic when I record, but you will see me routinely interrupt I believe it's the Bone Priest, or whatever his name officially is. Witch Doctor, there we go. So I will always interrupt him because he's the one who casts the Shadow Bolt Volley. So he's going to get a Shadow Bolt Volley off here just because we have that Emissary here that we cannot interrupt any of the targets. So from here, we're going to make sure and just cleave off a priority target and make sure that they don't bolster too much. 1 or 2 bolsters is okay, especially if they're lower in health. But you don't want to bolster things more than that.
I got the next one.
So we are saving Lust for this boss here.
Meaty.
I believe we Lust on the first 3. Just because, like I said, we were slow rolling a little bit. We could have made some bigger pulls, and we have some good AoE DPS where we could have just constantly switched targets. But like I said, we didn't do that, and we're just here to time the key. And we were really hoping to get one of the illustrious plumages at the end for nerf, because that is a very strong trinket for demon hunters. Or just a really strong agility trinket in general for raid, because of the way the raid works now, where you want to have a lot of versatility because there's a lot of on-hit abilities and things that have nothing to do with the amount of damage that you do, but the amount of damage that items do. So we're going to Lust on pull here and take out this boss pretty quickly. The bosses are actually the easiest part of this week. Surprise, when we time this, we do get a plus 12 mother load, which we also time, so I will be having that out on the channel here pretty soon as I can actually get it recorded over. But we found that though we kind of have problems with some of the pulls, let's say we get a little messy. I'm just giving you the example of mother load. We get a little messy at the very beginning, but I even said when we were in the run, like, we can make up a lot of time on bosses, because in fact we were doing bosses in like a minute and a half, where normally you're at 2.5 or 3 minutes per boss. So as you can see here, this one's already almost down. And I did go ahead and freeze that one, but Nerfo just was like, nah, we're just going to kill him, which was perfectly fine. So he did bring that gold in there, and you just heard Glitch say, but it's all right. The Serpent's going down here very quickly. Got some good damage in this group so far. Looks like for me, I'm doing around 34, 33, and then 23 with Necro. So rounding out some good damage, and we get down the first boss. In a minute 15. So you can see my old record was a minute 57, and that would have probably been on a lower key, because I don't think I had not done this one in an 11 yet, because I have now timed a 10 on at least a 10 on everything but freehold, just because I can never get the stupid things, even though I want freehold. And then Siege of Borealis, we did an 11 the first week of the season. That was rough,
I don't remember what
super
week it was,
rough. But then, what is the other one? Underrot. I have only done a 6 on Underrot, just because I haven't done the key. I did a small key to help somebody else push their key, and that was about it. So I'm trying to find good ways for me to use my beam. As you see there, I walk through all the crap. We were talking in this particular hallway here, and Glitch actually brought it up, to where sometimes an emissary, as you can hear him talking about, an emissary will just randomly spawn in one of these packs. So we were prepared every time, just in case that an emissary would pop out, but we don't get one. So this is one of the hardest pulls. This pull here, and then the room or the hallway in between boss 2 and 3. Are pretty bad. That's where we have our only wipe, but we didn't really wipe per se. Like, we didn't. Half the group died, but we ended up surviving just fine. And I will say one of the reasons why we, as you can see here, I am single targeting the king there, because I do not want to bolster him. But we did it because we bolstered one of the berserkers. I believe that's the one that puts the nasty dot, and he had like 3 dots on him that were stacking, and that you'll hear it in the recording part itself. But had we not done that, the pulls would have been so much smoother. And we were just rolling in here. Some people in the group hadn't done it yet this season, so they hadn't seen Beguiling. They hadn't seen the affixes for this week. We just rolled in there, and we're going to go time this key. We're going to go bang our head against the wall until we time it. And we did it, and it was pretty good. And I will say shout out to Star. I know that she doesn't like Mythic Pluses that much, but she's been doing very well. So thank you so much, Star, for healing this particular run. As you can see, Nerfo with the amazing beam there.
That's okay.
He's got the lag going there. Oh, and you'll have to see I have a brand new pet. I don't have Brutus out right now. In fact, as I use my beam. In fact, I actually got rid of Brutus for this pet, which is... was it Deep Glider, I think is what his name is? Yeah, Deep Glider, who is a rare spawn in What is that place? Nazjatar. There we go. I keep wanting to say Nazmir for Nazjatar, and then I say Nazjatar for Nazmir, and I can't figure out for the life of me why. But we are running. I did forget at the beginning. I need to do a better job of that. I'm running with Unerring Vision build. So I'm currently running 2 with all the best traits. So I'm doing 2 Unerring Vision. I'm doing 2 Focus Fire, and then I'm doing 2 in the Rhythm. And the reason I am only doing, or I'm doing it that way, is because I got a 445 helm that had in the Rhythm and Focus Fire. I would normally probably not run with 2 Focus Fire just because it's not that big of a difference. Like, first one is a good DPS increase, and you notice the focus regeneration versus base Focus Fire, or Rapid Fire. But I don't really notice it too much, at least, after the second and third traits. Especially considering I'm not running machine gun build. So this girl here, we want to make sure and
offensively dispel whoever gets MC'd.
Exactly what he just said. Offensively dispel them because she will mind control, and of course she's gonna pick me. Why wouldn't she?
Oh shit.
Here she comes, and then this is where I start putting dots and getting stunned by everybody. And I think I put a dot on Glitch. You'll hear him talk about it here in just a second. So get my beam ready here. Just make sure we can get them down. Yeah, I put my ink pot on him because I must have got a couple of pop shots off there. But make sure we can get the king down just a little bit. That way they don't bolster each other. Although if they would have, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. And we get through the room no problem. We were kind of expecting an emissary, like I said, didn't happen. But we find the emissary down here. And exactly what Nerf said, this is the easiest emissary that they could have put right here, at least. Although, I mean, the emissary of Tides isn't that bad too. Like she's pretty much a pushover, especially because the construct doesn't have anything that needs to be interrupted. So we would just kill him and call it a day. So I want to push her back here just a little bit, and then dodge the construct beam, because that construct beam and the dot that it leaves will definitely hurt on fortified weeks, so you don't want to probably get that to the face.
Could you just send that to do it, or?
And unfortunately, like Nerf said, the pet will not work. I have tried it several times to where you just get a pet out there on the emissary, and then hopefully that would continue to knock her back. Well, it doesn't, unfortunately. And the first week, too, a trap would work. So I could throw out my tar trap, and then as long as it was walking over the tar trap, it would count, and it would just knock it back, because it was getting hit by me. Unfortunately, it doesn't work now, but that's probably for the best, because I don't think it's exploitive, but it's definitely probably not working as intended. But speaking of working as intended, if so, this next week will be a nice week for normal and heroic raid, because they finally made it so my turtle can now block the rush ability. I forget what it's called officially, but the rush ability on the court boss, or it's Silivaz and Pashmar, I think. And when Silivaz, or Silly Face as we call him in raid, as soon as he targets you, because once he rushes to you, then you drop the little puddle on the ground, which does damage. Then now I can actually block that with my turtle again, because I could first week, but then I started doing it the next weeks after that, and then it stopped working. Well, it was apparently an unintended bug that went on for like a month.
I don't know, try it.
So we'll get this going here. And we get Nerfo out, grab him, because he's always going to be in that one there.
You're
already out, man.
You're already out, man.
I know, it was slow.
So we get this construct down here. And get ready to... There is 2 emissaries in this group. And we were actually talking about if we wanted to do 2 packs of slimes or not. But I don't remember what we do, actually. I think we just stick with the 1. So you just want to target the emissary of the Tides and just focus her down. She's not as important in this pack because there's nothing that we can actually interrupt or CC anyway. But you're going to see here, I get a lot of those poison stacks. Because I was like, oh, I can just go back just a little bit, and then sure enough, I think when I run up through this next pack, I get like 8 stacks. Like you'll hear him go, no. I had accepted my death, but they wanted to allow me to live, which I appreciate very much. These are one of the most annoying packs if you're running with Marksman Hunter, just because I need to stand there and cast that aim shot to do any damage at all. And unfortunately, I get myself into trouble from time to time, especially whenever, because you get one stack of the poison and it slows you, right? Well, then you get another stack and it slows you again, and then it slows you again, and then it slows you again, and the next thing you know, you're dead because you can't do anything about it. So here we're gonna pull this here, then we're gonna try to make sure and not pull the construct. So make sure and get a misdirect on Glitch, and then pull her. And then I'm going to immediately death beam. And just start going to town on those. And you can hear him. He's been using the anima essence that helps him. It does a larger amount of damage, but it also helps him keep aggro. And that's what matters. And see here, I get myself in a really bad spot. I get myself against a wall where I just like walk through all these. Here I go. 9, 10. Oh. I lived. There we go. So I found myself in a really bad position, and that was definitely on me, where I shouldn't have been over there in the corner, and I should have just popped Turtle instantly. So we're going to immediately get Nerf out. Didn't even look like he went in there officially.
Why is my...
So then we'll take down this other construct, and then we'll take it to this boss, and then go to the long hall that is this long pull in this hallway before the third boss.
You're gonna need to sit after this.
So down goes the down goes the cauldron, down goes the construct. There we go. Get our hunter's mark on there. Start off with the aim shot. I should have started off with the double tap, but I didn't. It's all right though. So we've got our lust going, and this is when we just go to town.
Going to the front of the dais thing, whatever.
So the boss doesn't have nearly as much health as normal. At least on tyrannical weeks, that is. And see, what I should have done there is I should have used my beam, because the beam, as I'm going to feign death to drop it off me, because I'm super lazy and I don't want to deal with it. But I'm standing over here in case one of these is the one that necros in, but he is not. But for the beam, you want to use it like towards the end of your true shot if you can't get another aim shot off, because it does damage based on your crit, meaning that if it will crit too. So like you can see me on some pulls where I'll do like 180 190k with it on one target, because most of the beam ticks crit.
You're good.
But this guy was pretty quick here. Didn't take long to take him out. I don't even think he gets to the second entomb. And down he goes. So 2 bosses down here. The Embalmer is dead.
Boss music.
And what Glitch said, we are... And this is where I'm like, please, wait at the top of the stairs. Don't go in. Don't go in. Don't go in. Because it never fails. Every group I've run, except for this one, they'll come in here and then they'll just pull all this stuff. It never fails.
Okay,
but we got him in there, and we want to make sure, and it's the Berserker. There we go. So we want to make sure that the Berserker is... There you go. And make sure that the Berserker does not get buffed with bolster. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, it does happen. So exactly what he said. Berserker was like the most health here, and he should be targeted first always, just because of that. The dot damage is also increased, so you don't want to deal with that, especially if you get it on multiple targets. And I'm
sorry, this hallway is tough.
Don't need to be sorry at all. And you see here, look at this pull up here.
Have to do this with the giant.
So the brute is stuck with her. So this is where...
Nope.
This is some of the pulls where you would be like, okay, we should have probably lusted on this pull and not on the boss prior to. Because we did not need to lust the boss at all.
This is alright.
But we managed to split them up, and this is where we might lose a few people. just because this brute is so close to the wall here. So I'm fine where I am, but not for long because he's right here, right? So guess what's gonna
No, you
happen?
don't, but you will here
You
in a
can
moment.
imagine we're gonna get a brute
Brutes are
knock
about
up
to
here,
fade, and I can't get them up right away.
and I'm just gonna sit there and turtle it. And goodbye, friends.
Oh, those wings served you well right there. Stay the
I
hell away
actually
from the
just realized in watching this video that I have my pet on passive.
I get tagged here. I'm popping the CD.
So look at this pet. Deep Glider's just hanging out, not doing anything, not getting that leech. Well, I guess I am still getting the leech. He doesn't have to do the damage to get the leech. But just little things like that. Like I record all of my kills to see what I can do to be a better player. Not just to record them on as I'm trying to check where people are walking in from. Not just to put them up on YouTube, but to just watch what I can do better. So clearly, if I'm not used to running with a pet here, and I need to make sure my pet isn't on passive, because there's no reason why it shouldn't not be attacking here.
Might have a bleed on
So
him.
we'll get down the Witch Doctor. Only got one bolster, so that's not too bad. And we will just finish this up here. Get ready for the next pull. These pulls don't go too bad. In fact, you can see up front there we have another Emissary, but that's pretty much it. And I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. Definitely consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And these are a lot of fun. I'm hoping to maybe start doing a few things live on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Mr. Eggplant. I haven't... Oh, I'll run it over here instead. I haven't really done much on Twitch lately, just because been working a lot of hours at work trying to get some more money for a new vehicle. But it's been fun when I have been able to play and have been able to stream for you guys. And I will be streaming, even though I know this isn't World of Warcraft related, but I will be streaming the new Spyro Reignited trilogy on Twitch. I know the reason I'm doing it so late is because I have a Nintendo Switch, and I've been waiting for it to come out on the Switch for some time. And now that it finally does, I will be playing it for you guys on the channel. And then I will, with that game, I will probably just cut them and send them to YouTube, like that way I can enjoy it live with you guys on Twitch, and then I can also talk with you guys in the comments and in the chat here on YouTube. So these pulls weren't too bad. The one pull at the very end gets kind of rough, but other than that, we made pretty good time here. We were ahead. We have 18 minutes left, on this when we get to this point where, that's pretty decent for our group that we're not prepared to do Mythic pluses at all. We were just going in there and doing them. So props to the guys for sure.
Not happen this pack though. I'm just gonna save it then. Dodge that bleed. Fucking God bless.
God bless. God bless. So we will see you guys here at the third boss, and I'll see you in a second.
Meta stun.
Looking to run. Looking to roar the first thing. Gonna roar it. It's been roared. Barrage on nerf. Just don't get anybody else hit if you can. Cleansing you. Deadeye on Greeley. Watch out.
Beastmaster down. Getting on Raptor.
How do we want to do this next pack? Big boy it, or... Okay. You're right. You're actually right. Well, I guess we could root her, but... See...
On the morph.
I gotcha. Okay. Big boy it.
55, so I gotta just use it. I got my shit. The laser gun.
Okay. Going in, popping a meaty as I go in. Looking to Anima the moment that I need the help.
She's down.
Anima going out. Kaboom. I can't really get him away from the scene.
I got it.
Decursing. Frenzied Regen is ticking on me. I have a bleed on me, popping another meaty. Two. I need an external if you got wings.
They're stunned.
Because I'm gonna need them. Thank you.
Oh, I'm off.
Oh,
Trying to kill this totem as a frog. Sorry.
I might die here. Yeah, the blade. Too much. You still got it though. I'm gonna run back. Just in case.
I think I can res you.
I rest. I forgot that you have engineer. My bad. Sorry, just 3 of those severing. I'm coming.
Good lord.
You think might I request that we do the next pack like 1 berserker at a time? Because those I don't have cooldowns right now just to handle. I'm almost there. Okay. Thank you. Hello. Oh, I dodged the first bleed. That's a good sign. Okay. I'm gonna taunt and just keep my distance for a moment because I still have a thing. Sorry.
Next time, gadget. Next time.
Next time, gadget. Next time. You don't need mana, you.
100%.
All right, so we get here to the 3rd boss, and I should not have lusted here. I should have lusted probably on the 2nd one, just because this guy we're just going to just completely pop like a zit. We'll make sure and just interrupt the Poison Nova, which didn't hardly go off at all. And then as a marksman hunter and being the ranged player with an interrupt, I will routinely pop shot and just take out any of the, like, I guess the copies of him that try to cast that later on. So we've got the charge guy here. And barrel through on me, so of course I'm going to come out here and just use my turtle. Because it completely negates the knockback and the damage, much like what I was talking to you about earlier on one of the new bosses. And I'll go and interrupt them. And much like the boss, Silly Vaz, on the Queen's Court, normal, heroic, and mythic from Raid. So we'll just go through here, block all the barrel throughs, which look at this. So isn't he supposed to knock you back? And he did nothing to me.
I did a heal as soon as he barreled through.
Crap.
Just you'll hear it, like, that's why she said that, because I questioned it. But, like, I didn't get knocked back or anything, so I was kind of confused on that. So maybe I didn't even get hit at all. Yes. I don't know. But also, I can see from just a little bit ago in the video, I finally turned my pet on to attack. That's always nice. So this fight is significantly easier when the butcher is last, just because there's less you have to worry about, because her whirling axes are so annoying.
Does that make it official?
So we'll just continue to just completely destroy her. I'll interrupt him, turn around there, and just dodge the axes. I think I do get hit by an axe or two. It doesn't normally happen. But I guess if you're going to get hit by an axe, you can get hit by an axe this week, because it's not going to do as much damage. So there's my axe hit. Shame, shame, shame on me. But she's almost down. and like these bosses have next to no health in comparison to what I'm normally used to. So down she goes, and I get barrel through coming on me. So down he goes. I did not expect him to rush me here.
Just get up because I think you're.
Boom. And unfortunately he does. He just completely takes me out. So there are 2 of our deaths for the entire run were right at the very end of that fight. So yeah, look at that. He hit me for 500k with 371k overkill. That's insanity. The real boss, yeah, Zool.
Yeah, sure.
Because of course Zool is empowered here because he is technically trash. So he just has a large amount of health, like half of what a boss would have. But we'll make quick work of him, and we have two classes that can easily deal with the little minion that he brings, which is you can dispel it, and both Nerf can consume magic, and then Star can mass dispel, and it makes quick work of those little ads. So it feels like the Zool fight was so long ago. Like I haven't done it, and yes, the expansion's almost been out for a year now, which is crazy to think. Like, what we're a week away from it being out a year already, and it feels like Old Deer was such a long time ago. Maybe even like last expansion type thing. And I guess I need to go over there and soak that again. I didn't even notice that it was there.
I could dispel.
But we'll get down Zool here. And we still have 9 minutes and 45 seconds left on the timer. And we have 1 Void Emissary. For whatever reason, they decided... As you can see, my add-on glitched out there and gave it like a super bar. Look at that. But we just had the one Emissary that was down here. I kind of thought it was weird that she was by herself, to be honest. But you just want to pop her real fast, and you can take one damage of that. Like you'll hear them say, like I just stood there. I was like, nope, that's fine. I can take it. There's no reason not to. But then, of course, we got really close. I thought she was going to cast it through again.
Brass balls.
Balls of steel. Uh-huh. He's a warrior after all.
I'll sit down in just a moment.
So we're here at almost 9 minutes exactly on the final boss here in King's Rest. I kind of shortchanged our guild. Like it wasn't just a couple minutes remaining. I guess that was the King's Rest. We missed a 2 chest by like 30 seconds or something in this fight, or in this place. So then you can disengage back where he misses you entirely. Does not do the damage if you time it right. And we'll just take on the king here. Unfortunately, no mount drops. I only know of 1 person in the guild so far that does have the mount, which I believe is going. But we have the hunting leap on me, so I want to dodge that, dodge the leap from the boss. And we just need to take out, is it Raban there? We'll just take out Raban. That way we don't have to deal with his damage. I believe they actually stay out. He stays out too long. The reason I know he stayed out too long, three targets were out right now, and I've never been able to cleave on this boss because I need three targets to cleave. It felt so weird, so I'll turtle the first fear. That way I don't have to worry about it, and I can keep doing damage. I do get hit by the second fear though, but we want to make sure and just try to dodge the sphere first off, but then just take out the mount and then finally take out him, because otherwise it just makes the fight hard for no reason at all. Though the fear is quite annoying for sure. But overall damage in this group was pretty good, especially for like if you're doing 10 9s, 10s, 11s, 12. We have decent DPS to do that. Anything after that would probably be a stretch, but we're not really focused on that right now. Although, as a player, I would definitely like to be getting a 15 in time this season. That's my goal every time. We've got to a 14 last season, but we never ended up getting that legendary 15, even though it's not, I guess, that hard in that sort of sense. So this was a great run overall. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and definitely consider subscribing to me here. And you can subscribe to me on Twitch. I do have that unlocked as I am an affiliate, but if you would just like to throw me a follow over there, that would be much appreciated. And I always appreciate you guys, hanging out and supporting every little venture that I do. And Definitely add me on BNet as well. It's Greeley, Greeley, hashtag 1373. I would love to chat with you in game if you would like to do that. So thank you to our Drexit friends for running this dungeon with me, and until my next live stream or video, I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching, guys.
That ring is tradable. Is it?
Definitely not free.
It's gonna
I
sock
can
it.
trade.